Live from our 7 Tasmania studios, your nightly news with Kim Miller begins now.
Good evening, everyone. First tonight, a blaze has torn through a large industrial building on the outskirts of Launceston, leaving behind a 6-figure damage bill. Fire crews worked overnight to contain the flames, with high winds and toxic smoke threatening nearby homes.
Dousing the flames from high above, fire crews worked late into the night to extinguish the blaze that destroyed this shed.
There was very high winds last night, so the fire pushed through the shed quite quickly, and neighbouring properties were notified and come on scene and making sure that their property was safe.
Smoke billowing from the shed, police blocked off Georgetown Road. About 8 crews were needed to contain the inferno, but gaining entry proved difficult.
Being a corrugated iron shed, access was difficult, so we were here for a number of hours with crews trying to put water onto the fire.
The shed contained rubber for retreading tyres, a highly flammable material which made it difficult for fire crews to extinguish the blaze. A Rochalee resident living nearby was taken to the Launceston General Hospital, suffering from smoke inhalation.
The toxic smoke did travel for a number of hundreds of metres for nearby properties, so yeah, that was a concern for the public.
Initial investigations suggest the fire was caused by an arcing electrical cable, causing around $250,000 in damage. Elizabeth O'Neill, 7 Tasmania News.
Fresh Tasmanian produce will be flown straight to Hong Kong under a new freight deal. As part of the short-term summer service, the state's seafood, berries, dairy products and meat will depart for Asia from Hobart Airport. The plan has been labelled a game changer by the Seafood Council. Following an unprecedented year for exporters, the flights will depart up to 3 times a week from December 16 until February 10, each one carrying around 40 tonnes of produce. The controversial debate over voluntary assisted dying in Tasmania has taken another step forward, with the government announcing MP Sarah Courtney will guide the legislation through the lower house. The plan has already passed the Legislative Council, but will start another round of debate in Parliament tomorrow.
Individuals should have the right to be able to determine what happens to them. I think it's the government and the Parliament's role to ensure that there are appropriate safeguards in there to protect those that are most vulnerable in the community.
Labor and Greens members are expected to vote in favour of the legislation, with debate to continue into next year. Further information has been revealed about a commission of inquiry investigating historic child sex abuse within government institutions. Ministers have again come under fire over their handling of complaints within their own departments.
A government under pressure, facing another day of scrutiny over allegations of institutionalised child sexual abuse, revealing more details on how exactly it will investigate.
The government has commenced the work required to establish a commission of inquiry into child sexual abuse. I can confirm that the Department of Justice is leading work to develop the terms of reference.
Starting early next year.
Anyone who would like to make a submission to the Commission can do so by accessing the portal, which is now live, via the Department of Justice website.
Ministers Mark Shelton and Jane Howlett once again facing questions over the handling of allegations against deceased nurse James Griffin.
You spoke to the NTNA on Friday and again on Monday. What information did you seek about James Griffin's offending from those meetings in order to support the club?
The Sports Minister taking almost a minute to make her way to the podium.
How long do we wait?
I'm advised that there has been no report from the Northern Tasmanian Netball Association of any complaint or issues in relation to Mr Griffin.
Labor not impressed.
What we saw in Parliament today was a woeful performance by Minister Howlett in particular, who's not fit to do her job.
We're keeping a watching brief on those 2 particular ministers who are average.
But the Health Minister maintained she's confident in their abilities.
I think all of us have had question times when we can reflect on those.
Meg Sides, 7 Tasmania News.
The founder of Kathmandu, Jan Cameron, has submitted plans to redevelop a rundown hotel in Bicheno. Ms Cameron's company hopes to demolish the Silver Sands Hotel to make way for 12 new accommodation units. The development, known as the Rookery, has guidelines to minimise impacts and protect little penguins in the area. Ms Cameron is due to face court next year over allegations she misled the corporate watchdog in relation to shares she owned in Bellamy's. Emergency services have been kept busy over the past 24 hours with wild weather and damaging winds creating havoc across Tasmania. With a cooler start to summer, the Bureau of Meteorology says the conditions are not unusual for this time of year.
An unfortunate spot to park, with a fallen tree crushing the front of this car. Branches left scattered on the side of the road following a busy and blustery night for emergency crews.
The total at the moment is 29 call-outs. Had some damage to roofs when things actually go through roofs, like tree branches and so on. We had one car damaged from a tree came down on it. It was parked, so there was no one injured. Shed went down, trampoline went west.
Seeing rain and those damaging southwesterly winds overnight, the strongest at 161 kilometres an hour, recorded at Mount Syker Island.
We had a cold front across the state yesterday afternoon, and that brought a very strong and gusty westerly flow behind it.
Those winds picking up again today, leading to the Bruny Island ferry halting, causing disruptions for many commuters. However, the SES says stay home if you can during dangerous conditions.
In these winds, don't travel if you don't have to. There's a lot of flying debris, there's a lot of debris on the roads.
And while it may be the beginning of summer, it was a winter wonderland at the Central Highlands.
We do tend to see some snowfalls around the state during December. We've got a ridge to the north of us, so that allows us to be a bit more exposed to those stronger cold fronts that come through the Southern Ocean.
With cooler weather and more strong winds predicted over the coming week, said to be normal for this time of year.
The showers generally into the west and far south of the state for the rest of the week. We will see another cold front come through towards the weekend, and we may see the winds pick up again to be quite strong and gusty.
Ruby Kamane, 7 Tasmania News.
A forklift that fell off the port of Berri yesterday has been winched out of the water. It caused a small oil leak, which Toll says has been cleaned up. The Toll vessel unloaded its cargo after initial delays and left the port last night. Shipping operations have now resumed as normal. WorkSafe is investigating what happened. Christmas cheer is on the menu for several disadvantaged Tasmanians as part of St Vincent's de Paul's dinner program. Regular food donations from local businesses are helping feed the initiative with the hope of bringing the community together in a tough year.
Tables set for a festive celebration, this dining room won't stay empty for long.
We're having our monthly meal that we provide to the community of Bridgewater and surrounding areas, but it's a special one today. It's our Christmas celebration.
Ham, turkey and all the trimmings will be enjoyed by 150 people, but it's not just the food that's going to make a difference.
Everyone sits and talks and we have a laugh and a joke, and it gives us a chance to keep an eye on our community, the people in our community.
Volunteers witnessing the important work this event does in the community.
I come here, you see smiles on faces, the kids enjoy getting a little gift at the door, especially today we'll have Santa in tonight.
Hydro Tasmania funding this event with No Frills Food Market as part of a regular support program.
We're hoping that through providing regular donations to organisations that they'll be able to plan ahead and put on more events like this in the future without the added stress of requiring or needing to get the food.
For all those involved, joy is the real gift.
Just a smile on their faces when they're enjoying their meal. You see the plates come back and they've cleaned their plate.
Josh Duggan, 7 Tasmania News.
And a training and employment hub for vulnerable Tasmanians is receiving a major helping hand. Over 2 years, $470,000 will flow into Hamlets Cafe to offer more programs and work experience for those facing employment barriers. The funding even more welcome after a tough pandemic for the business and its participants.
It will allow us to increase our training program quite significantly. Over COVID, our waitlist hit 110 people, so obviously we're trying to find ways that we can provide opportunities to those individuals, and to do that obviously we need to employ more staff.
Hamlets Cafe has so far helped 260 Tasmanians. A Tasmanian Rotary Club is looking to document this year's extreme events for a new art exhibition. The Rotary Club of Tamar Sunrise is asking Launcestonians to reflect on this year and will be popping up around the city ready to collect written and spoken memories.
So we really wanted to capture this year. It's been extraordinary. Some of our events we haven't seen for 100 years. So part of looking forward and moving forward is allowing people to reflect and then start looking forward to 2021.
A selection of the moments will form an exhibit at QV Mag and accompany a short video. A popular summer music festival cancelled due to COVID-19 is officially returning to the stage next year. Hobart's Day on the Lawn will include performances by local acts as well as headliners Grinspoon, Ocean Alley and Angie McMahon. For Tasmanian musicians, they're keen to finally get back in front of a crowd.
We were sad not to be able to last year, but so when we got the email and the call telling us we'll be able to play again, we jumped at the chance.
It feels like the events industry is definitely starting to come back, and we're just all hopeful that, you know, that none of the events get cancelled due to any more COVID coming into the state.
The All Ages Festival will be held on March 20 in the Botanical Gardens.
A key player is returning to the Northwest Thunder for the NBL1 season. Paul Campbell will line up for his third season in the side. The 6'10" Canadian is coming off a foot injury but has used the break during the pandemic to return to full fitness. He joins Mason Bragg, Kyle Clark, Taron Armstrong and Joe Chilcott on the team's roster for next season. Mystic Journey is the first official nomination for next year's AllStar Mile. The 5-year-old mare made history by becoming the inaugural winner of the $5 million race in 2019. Public voting to determine who makes the final field opens on January 22, with the race to take place in March. And to cap off sport, Longford's rich motor racing history is set to be immortalised. A new Legends Avenue is being established in the town, with the course made famous by the Flying Mile being endorsed. Beautiful black and white vision captures Longford as the centre of the motor racing world, the home of 2 Australian Grand Prix and many more brilliant battles between 1955 and 1968. Motorsport legend Barry Oliver attended every single year.
And it had a lasting impression on me.
Scenes like these inspired Oliver's infatuation with the sport. As a young man, he felt chills watching the ferociously fast Flying Mile.
When it finished in 1968, the fastest speed on the Flying Mile was 184 miles an hour.
Perhaps more memorable, how casual and approachable his heroes were.
Things like Jack Brabham at one stage had to do repairs to his car. Now we're talking about a Grand Prix car. Now, he was given permission because of shortage of time to actually drive that car from Launceston out here to the circuit. Now imagine if you were on the Midlands Highway and Jack Brabham went past you driving a Formula 1 Cooper Climax.
And it's those stories the new Longford Legends Avenue hopes to encapsulate when it creates a physical monument to the town's motorsport pedigree, alongside 5 individuals who have contributed to life in Longford.
The entire community took food up to the pits. All the gatekeepers and marshals and all that were just local people.
Toughening safety rules would herald the end of racing in Longford. At its peak, as many as 30,000 people would attend.
I drove away from the circuit in 1968 with a very sad feeling because I think I knew that that was the last one.
This project will help it live forever.
Good evening. Most temperatures drop below average today. St Helens our top with 23, Hobart, Berni and Devonport 18, Launceston 20. Friendly Beaches 22 degrees, Bushy Park and the Islands 17, Lowhead, Grove and Strawn reach 16 and Lyawini 10. Mostly clear skies over the north and northeast, however there was scattered cloud over the west and south as that band pushed through overnight, leaving us in that cold air. A band of straw-like cloud extended southeast from northwest WA. A frontal band moves up the New South Wales coast. There's that cold air south of the Bight. A few thunderstorms over the top end. Tomorrow, the westerly airflow continues as a trough passes well south of the Bight. Troughs also remain over the mainland. The winds tomorrow should reach 20 to 30 knots over southern waters, lighter and more variable over the upper east, swells at 4.5 metres in southern waters. Just one warning, a strong wind warning on the map for tomorrow. That's between Tasman Island and Sandy Cape. Hobart expecting 19 degrees but cloudy, a shower or two for Cygnet, 18, the top 18 also for New Norfolk. Launceston a top of 19, a cloudy day, Devonport 18, Campbelltown 18, all under a bit of cloud cover. Berri cloudy as well, 18 the maximum, a few showers for Strawn, 17, 18 the top for Smithton. St Helens 20 tomorrow and partly cloudy, same for Swansea, Fingal a top of 18 degrees. UV hits 9 and that's very high. On Friday, partly cloudy over the east with a few morning showers elsewhere. Showers extending statewide on Saturday morning, increasing in the afternoon and evening, and strong and gusty winds back for Sunday. Showers for most areas, the east though in the rain shadow. Plenty of sunshine for Perth, Adelaide and Melbourne tomorrow. Some cloud but fine for Canberra and Sydney. An early shower clearing from Brisbane. The sun is still shining, Hobart 18 degrees, Launceston 17 at the moment, Devonport mostly sunny and 16 degrees. After that big blow last night, Kim, we've got a couple of calm days before the weekend chops up again.
Okay, thank you very much, Murph, and that's your news for now. I'll be back later with updates. Thanks for your company. Good night.